How's it going, everybody? I'm just here doing some inking, so I figured I'd turn a live stream on. I'm inking, it'll let me zoom out, some turtles hanging out. So that's what I'm doing. How's it going, Sparks? If you got any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'm just gonna zone out. I'm not gonna be, unless people ask questions, I'm not gonna be super chatty on this one. I'm just relaxing, just working. Got some big panels to work on here. Hey Daniel, how's it going? Alright, just chilling. Just figured I'd doing some making, fun panel, so I figured I'd just turn it on. But I'm not in a big mood to just ramble today, so if people have questions, I'll answer them. Or people want to chat about stuff, just let me know. Otherwise, I'll just be doing my thing. Chicken wing. Lots of seagulls out today. Thanks, Jamie. I love you for loving my art. Again, if you're just joining now, feel free to ask anything. How to know the line weight, in understanding line weights. Well, it's very tough. It takes a lot of time. I'm not perfect at it, but basically, I'm inking him and him first because they're in the foreground, so they're going to have thicker inks around them. I generally like to do thicker inks around the front characters, but still keep the little details quite thin, like, you know, all the design on his heads, the patterns and stuff. keep that little tiny details pretty thin, but thicker on the outside so that they're separated. It definitely takes time and experimentation. I still experiment sometimes. Sometimes I go super thin, sometimes I go way too thick. It's sometimes just tracing some of your favorite artists like Capullo or J. Scott Campbell or someone like that, Todd Knock, or just watching them work, you can sort of start to build a good idea. I can't really say like I exactly do this, but I mostly use, well, I'm right now using a hairpin sable brush, which is a nice thin to thick, and that's what I mostly use. But when I zoom out and stuff, it still stays the same size. Hey Rob, I'm at my 9 to 5. Unfortunately, you can't chillax through the whole stream. Guess I'll catch the replay. That's alright, dude. I mean, hopefully people will ask some more questions. Otherwise, you just have to watch in silence. I was debating doing a silent stream, but then I wanted to listen to podcasts, and I think my iPad will pick that up. So if you look here, like I made this arm quite a thick line, but that's because it's going in front of his face. So I want to show that that line is thicker, and this line down here is thinner. That's just a bit of his sort of armpit. But even though this line's thick, this whole line is thicker than what's in front of him, so it's a lot of playing. And it's always good to start out thin and build up to more thickness if you need it, because so it's easier to add thickness than to remove it. Same with getting fat, right guys? It's easier to add thickness than instead of losing it. Yep. I mean, a lot of line weights should also be focusing on lighting. But I don't know anything about lighting. That's why I have quite a clean art style, because I usually like leaving the lighting up to my colorist. Some colorists can do it, and it looks awesome. Some colorists can't, and then it's just all a bit of a hodgepodge. Most still use traditional tools. I get one line. Traditional tools? Yep. I mean, pretty much what I'm doing digitally is what I would do traditionally as well. I would lay out everything in a thin line, and then add, get a brush and add a thicker line over everything. Or a nib. I prefer a nib. Sometimes I like to do what I'm doing here. I like to bleed a bit of it. Will you stream on this weekend? Haven't had a chance to pick up stuff. I don't stream on weekends. I don't work weekends. I for the past year I've started taking off weekends, because I was just getting too burnt out working all the time. So now I work more during the week. I really knuckle down and get stuff done. And then I take the weekends off, which is nice. Sorry, I missed what you said there, because I got something in my eye. Oh, got a bit of dust in my eye. Before you broke in, were you doing 3 or 4 comics a month? Yeah, I was, but I wasn't producing 3 to 4 comics a month. I was working on 3 to 4 projects a month and essentially producing a single issue. I definitely don't want to. Sorry for the yawning. I want to not be spending so much time drawing, because it can really burn you out. You know, I constantly change the way I work. Like, past couple of months I was doing I'm just going to chill out for the day and start work maybe at around 1 o'clock, and then I'll work till like 8 o'clock at night. And then recently I found that I was just taking the whole day off, so I was like, oh, okay, you got to switch your schedule up again. So now I sort of I'm not doing it right now, but I've started timing every 15 minutes, and out of 15 minutes out of every hour I spend working on something personal, like whether it's coloring my zombie comic book or if it's doing some sketching or studying. I've started to implement that into my work so that I can have a bit more fun, so I can be like, if I just get through this, 15 minutes, then I can go work on something cool. And that's keeping me going right now. So you just gotta, it's stupid. You just gotta fight yourself to actually sit down and draw. Like, if I wish I could just be like, right, I have to work from 9 to 5 and not stop, but it's funny. Was that Mr. Sizzle Art? And that's another thing. Sometimes I do treat it like, right, I'm working 9 to 5. It all just changes. It just depends on how I think the best way to keep me going is going to work. I got you to do a cover for me ages ago. I did Bone with Comic Con and it's still my favourite cover art ever. Oh yeah, what was that? That Bournemouth one, that was such a last minute thing. I just saw that it was advertised and I was like, well, should we do it? To my fiance, and she was like, yeah, sure, why not? And then we just got a hotel and boom, we were there. That was right before I broke into Marvel as well. That was about a month or two before I broke in. How's it going, Hal? Got any cool covers you're working on? Hal's done a cover for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, haven't you? Part of the club, Turtles Club. Hope your Batman Beyond book's going good. Yeah. Just get it done. Get it done. Send it off to DC. You've done 20 pages? If you've done 20 pages, I'd happily take a look at them. Jeez, you're really committed. Well, you got the first issue down, so that's a major achievement. Oh, I think my Apple Pen's died, so gotta give it a few seconds to charge back up. I guess in the meantime, I'll show you guys what I've been working on. Thought balls, that's a fun idea. So, I've been colouring my own comic recently. This isn't my art, this is the art of Marco McCagney, but it's my colours. My zombie book, this is a splash page from it. This is a color balance layer. This is, and let me just turn it to flats. Here's the flats. I'll turn off all these layers so I can show people step by step. So let's see what we got here. So that's the flats. So that's just the basic colors. Then I do this color balance, which makes it, because it's sort of a warm tone I'm going for during the day in the deep south. And then I also have this blue filter because I just think it makes it seem more daytime than sunset, which is what that is. Then I have a fade over the inks itself, so they're not just pure black. If you look, you see that it makes the top bit a bit more brown. I've got a layer here which is a screen, which just pushes those walls into the background a bit. That's the highlight layer. So this is the layer that sort of is just like the light hitting everybody like that. And this is the shadow layer. I generally do shadow first, and then I add the highlights. And I think that should be everything. What if I turn this off? Whoa! So this has been fun to do. So I did that this week in between pages, like I was talking about with the 15-minute break stuff. That was one of the things I've been working on. I think I covered, yeah, I did another page today. And these aren't finalized, I still have some stuff to do. This is, I wasn't too happy with this. I'm still debating certain stuff, but that's one of the pages. And then I've been working on my Spawn stuff. Here's a cool Batman. Right here. But I had to put this B on his chest to show that he's not the actual Batman. Don't want to copyright infringe. But there's me Batman. Got a cartoony Bruce Wayne there. Then I have to ink this cave, which you can see I roughly penciled. Got sexy ab man here. Got a Joker over here. The wireframes have been done for. I just need to add the final links. Can anybody spot what I was referring to with this Batman pose? See the fans out there? So right now I'm just inking a ton of pages at once. Usually I like to go page by page. That's what I used to do my whole career. But right now I've been spreading them out, inking the panels that interest me. Oh yeah, I'll show you guys this stuff as well. I've been dabbling recently with he's the badass, yeah. Badass man. I've been dabbling recently with studying more manga influence. So I've been looking at a lot of Akira Toriyama and fiddling with that. And you can definitely see it here. You look at these guys. Just trying to expand my range, trying to figure out what it is I like about his art and applying it to some of my own stuff. You can see here I was going for more simpler faces and eyes and playing with some expressions, some hair, character here, this cowboy guy. And just been fiddling with a lot of stuff. I was testing out, working on it like the manga sized type of page here. Simpler pencils, but I gave up because I need to study that art style more. And I didn't want to just jump straight into something. And my pencil should be charged. When you start drawing a figure, do you do the stick pose like the ones in How to Draw the Marvel Way, or gestures? I don't do stick figures. I've gotten to a point now where I'm pretty comfortable to jump in and loosely do stuff. If you look at some of my pencils here, you can see I'm pretty much just going for it, but you can see there's an X line around them, just so I know the form. But I've gotten to a stage where I can sort of comfortably not have to rely on that so much. I can pretty much draw 3D straight away. Like you see here, these pencils are, super rough. And some of them are super rough, and then I figure them more out in the inks. So, let me show you what do the pencils look like for this. So this is the pencils here. You see there's a few lines, but not as much. But I do recommend doing the Marvel method with the shapes of people. I definitely do still. It's not like I don't use it at all. I definitely still use it. I just don't use it as much. It depends on how difficult it is. You know, drawing a couple turtles just chilling, sitting like this is pretty easy to me. But you know, if they're doing big action stuff, then I might need to rough it out a bit more. Depends, just whatever the art calls for at that point. You saying that I'm tired? Yeah, I am tired. I'm tired of drawing all these goddamn comic books. Every time I draw, this is why I'm fat, because every time I draw food, I get super hungry. Especially drawing globby slices of pizza with pepperoni on them. Gotta chuck a couple of marks on them. Looking a bit plain. It's like little scaly stuff. You see, I put bumps on his head so that, because basically this is not a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles book. This is Spawn. Spawn kills everyone. So he's killing everyone. So he's killing lots of copywritten characters. So I have to do them in a way you can't sort of pinpoint who they are. That's why I put their masks hanging over here instead of on them. I put him some bumps on his head, and I'm not saying which turtle's who. I mean, I think by looking at it you should be able to know who's who. I think so. And in the pencils I made this background way more detailed, but as I was going I was like, well, I don't know what speech balloons are going to be put over this. And I don't want to fill up the background too much. Excited for this Spawn movie? Yeah, I think it's going to kick ass. Blumhouse is a good place to be. It's nice that it's all in Todd's hands. The only thing I don't like is how busy it makes him. Needs to pay attention to his comics as well. I'm just waiting on a couple pages from him. But I know that he's busy living the movie life. Alright, see you, bud. I don't know if I'm still going to be on. I might wrap this one up soon. I think originally I was going to add some black to this turtle. Just wanted to push him a bit away as everything else was pretty much solidified. I just wanted him to disappear a bit. It's so noisy out today. I do regret some stuff in this background. Some of it's not looking too good. So we'll just do some quick instant detail. You know that you and Greg Capullo, the reason I decided to do comics is curious to things. Oh man, that's awesome. Greg Capullo is the reason I decided to pursue a career in comics, so go for it, bud. Greg's the man. I loved his art so much in Batman in 2011 that I was like, I want to do that for a living. So that's how it all started for me. So if you're going for the same thing, then power to you. I hope you're drawing all day, every day. Studying up on all the best stuff you can. Doing pages. Trying to find your own art style. Because, like, I mean, I love Greg Capullo, but I'm still... You know, I'm not a carbon copy of Greg Capullo. You can tell I like his stuff more on Spawn than I do on anything else. But, yeah. Go for it. That's what I say. Nice. your webcomic's doing well. Yeah, I mean, if you're in your 40s, the old saying is with it's Jack Kirby, isn't it? Right? He didn't create the Fantastic Four till he was like a 40-year-old man, so it's never too late. When I started pursuing comics, I was super hungry for it. I was drawing non-stop. I sort of cut social life out a bit, and I was really crackling down and just focusing on my art. Really spending like all day and all night doing it. Figuring out everything. And that reward when you finally get something clicks and you go, oh, that's how you draw a deltoid, or oh, that's how the bicep connects to the armpit, and all this stuff is. I wish I still got feelings like that. Not as much anymore, but man, that was the best. Yeah, you spend all those hours trying to figure something out, and it's not working, and you get frustrated. You're like, why can't I do it? And you say to yourself, well, I just can't do it. I don't have the brain for it. I can't do it. I'm not as smart as these other guys. I don't even know why I'm trying. This is stupid. And then if you just stick to it, you just draw something suddenly differently than you did before. You're like, well, what if I try and draw a head this way, or an eyeball this way? That biggest one to me was drawing eyes. I was always terrible at drawing eyes. And then one time I forget what I think I started. I think I was always just drawing eyes like that. And then I was looking at Capullo, and I was looking at the eyelids, and I started do the eyelid first, and then I went, oh my god, there's an eyeball. It has a lid. I mean, today, the stuff, like, there's some stuff where I'm like, oh, you don't really know how to draw that, because when you know how to draw something, you just know the shape of it and stuff. It's not guesswork. But then sometimes I'm just drawing something and I'm just guessing the shape, and I don't even realize I'm guessing the shape, and I'm like, oh, you need to stop and study that, because you're still making it up in your brain. You don't actually know how to draw that thing. So I sometimes catch myself with that. It makes me fix it. There you go, those pipes in the background, that beefs that up a bit. Yeah. I guess I've learned a lot from the internet. I got a lot of, Googling resources and stuff like that, but the majority of my study was looking at, I bought a ton of Spawn and J. Scott Campbell and books, and I learnt that way. I think there's an old video of me, for a little while I was gathering a huge reference folder of different poses and things to use, and that's because I just didn't know how to draw at that point, so I had a big folder of stuff that I could go to be like, if I was about to draw something, I'm like, crap, I don't really know how to draw someone in that position. Aha, well, I've saved 100 photos of someone jumping. Maybe I can look at that and figure out for reference. And I only did that. That's okay. No, I can read what you're saying. And I did that for ages, until when I was like, you know what, just read Figure Drawing Design and Invention. See how to actually put it together yourself, and that's what changed everything. Where I was like, oh, I don't need all this reference anymore. I still gather reference today for stuff I don't need to do. Like yesterday, I was just gathering some Art Adams reference, because Art Adams is amazing, first of all, and I've been looking at his work recently. There's a lot of stuff in his work where I'm like, I think I could somehow incorporate that into my work. I'm using Clip Studio Paint. But yeah, Art Adams. I've been looking at the way he does backgrounds recently with grids and things, and I need to get into that. Now I'm doing some wireframes. No, this isn't Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's a trick. It's a con. This is still Spawn. Basically, they're not the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're just turtles. There's nothing here that says that they're the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're just turtles. They're, you know, in a hot tub, eating some pizza, hanging out. There's just randomly some masks on the back wall there, but that doesn't mean anything. Don't worry about that. But, yeah. Nothing to do with it. This is still Spawn, you see. We got little baby Spawnies here. There's no copyright infringement. We're all good. I wish I was working on the IDW Turtles series. I love that book. So happy to do a cover for it. I've tried for so long to get work on that book, and I finally got it. My dog is looking for attention right now. She's sitting right next to me, staring at me. Just gonna scratch her thumb for a second. What do you want? What do you want, Snorty Bigordy? Yeah, not the turtles you're looking for, no. Cat and shoulder, nice. Yeah, my dog always I work in my living room, so my dog is always snuggling up to me. Snorosaurus Rex, that's what she is. It's one for light ones. Sorry, what do you mean by that? Oh my dog's getting fed up. One the light cats. What, a cat lamp? You have 14 cats? Wow, that's a lot of cats. I have 0 cats because my fiance is sadly allergic to them. Which is a shame because I love cats. Nice. Sounds like the life. Yeah, I listen to music. I listen to a lot of uh, podcasts as well, interviews with people. So I have, a little conversation that I'm listening to, basically. I usually don't work... I only work in silence when I do these streams. Because usually it's supposed to be 24/7 people asking questions, so I have something to talk about, but, you guys aren't really doing your job, so... You're just letting everyone down that watches it later, so really, you guys have yourself to blame. It's all your fault. You guys are the worst. Alright guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Seems like not too many people are being chatty, and I need a break, and it's getting a bit laggy on my iPad. So, thanks very much for watching, guys. I'm sorry if I sounded a bit tired or boring, but whatever. Thank you very much for watching, and pick up Spawn in December. And follow my social media to figure out whatever else I'll be working on next. Alright, love you guys.